Hello, and welcome to episode 13 of the Sarcastic News Network, where news gets roasted and every politician is fair game. As long as free speech still exists, I will oppose this stupid war, and so on, so forth. You get it. Okay. Now, I love the first thing I see when I look up on air. Warnings issued as 260,000 people told to stock up on food in 2 states. You think that that's the only states that are going to have a problem? I'm sure more will happen. Key takeaways. Residents in northeastern California and western Nevada are urged to secure outdoor items and stock up on food and water. It's just California and Nevada, and I believe California supplies a lot of the country's food. Let's go on though. But they're running out of food, and not anywhere else. Don't question it. Don't question it. It's like the science. If you question it, then you are the devil. And I literally can see your horns if you're questioning it. Don't fucking question it. These people know what they're talking about. They obviously love you. That's why they're telling you to stock up on food. Yay. The type of lovely stories we love in life. I love these stories. I hope that you do too. And excuse the sunglasses, but it's just the easier thing to do. Kind of blind myself just slightly. You know, I have to walk around knowing what's going on, but just shade it up a little bit. And I've been, people are saying I'm trying to completely rob Tim Dillon's thing. I'm not. He has his own thing. He's way funnier than I ever could fucking be. But as far as roasting the news, this is fair game for everyone, and we all should be doing it. Honestly, I recommend the whole country rise up to roast the news, and at least get behind people like me who are doing it, because it's worth it. It's worth it. The populist movement that Trump has siphoned out of MAGA, and that the liberals siphoned out when Obama said he'd bring change and bring us no change. All those populist people feel like me, or at least can relate to a lot of what I'm saying. They might not agree with every word, but they can relate. It's the message of fuck this ruling class. They're obviously evil. And they don't have our best interests at heart. They're controlled by a foreign government in a lot of cases, and it's all about the money to them. They could give a shit less about their district and how people are doing in them. A lot of them live in the biggest, most expensive property in the district. I think Maxine Waters is an example of that. I'm not sure if she lives in the biggest, but compared to the rest of her district, she is doing well. Let's say that. But here we go. Let's cover this story. So due to wind, we're going to not get food in California and Nevada. That's basically the summary. And these damaging winds could blow down trees and power lines, making travel difficulty. So 670,000 people, you need food because of these strong winds. The first time I've ever heard of a wind doing that. But, at some point, the watch will be upgraded to a high wind warning. See, these strong winds. Now, this Newsweek meteorologist, Heather Richards, told Newsweek, in addition to hazards outlined in the watch, she said blowing dust could create poor visibility. And they've also warned over 1 million people in various states to close your windows because the toxic air. Swear. Put this on everything. I wouldn't make that one up. I will have to show you. I will spare you the waiting time of me searching, though. And we're back. Had to bring proof. The EPA has urged over 1 million people in America. Over 1 million Americans in Texas, New Mexico, and other states. Don't even tell us all the states. I'll look into it, though. To stay indoors and close windows due to dangerously high levels of toxic air pollution. So that whole shit that happened in East Palestine, Ohio, that's like gone countrywide. That's gone national now. And there wasn't even a train that blew up. This is just being admitted. It's just toxic air, and they're telling you to close the window. That's how toxic it is. I'm proving it. Do you think this is coming from News Break? And I'm sure there's others. NASA, NIH. There you go. Good God. Coming from them, of all people. So, let's see. The hazardous air is primarily caused by fine particulate matter, PM2.5, from wildfires and industrial emissions. I would assume industrial emissions mostly. And they can penetrate deep into the lungs, cause inflammation, breathing difficulties, and other serious health issues. Thank you, Donald Trump in America. You have solved the climate crisis, and you deregulated it to the point now where when we breathe, we're breathing in poison. I love it. This is what we obviously voted for. MAHA, Make America Healthy Again. We wanted to breathe in poison when we voted for that. I mean, that's what we all were. Weren't you doing that? If you weren't doing that, I'm really asking you, what were you doing? We definitely didn't want the vaccines because they're toxic, but we're cool with breathing in the toxic stuff. So just take it out of the vaccines, put it into the air, and I don't want it to just be localized to me getting a vaccine once in my life, okay? I want to breathe it in every second of every day, because then I'll be protected from that in which you're giving me. You know? It makes sense. I promise it makes sense. Holla if you hear. I'll put on the whole Tupac song. Holla if you hear me. But, you know, I'll get copyright strike, so I better not. I better not. But, you know, I'm happy. And they're even telling people in, is it Mexico or New Mexico? And other states. So I'm gonna look into the whoa, hold up. Let's look at the positive things that can happen. So exposure to these particles and ground level ozone is linked to asthma attacks, cardiovascular disease, strokes, lung cancer, and premature death. Vulnerable populations, including children and the elderly, children who you'd want to protect the most, but at the same time the elderly too. I mean, everybody. And people with pre-existing respiratory and cardiovascular condition are at a higher risk. So basically, if you're already unhealthy, you're at a higher risk from dying because poison's in the air. If you're healthier, you can withstand the poison a little bit longer. But it will lead to these problems like the pre-existing conditions. You'll eventually have one from just breathing this in. So this is the recommendation. This is what they tell you to do. Wear face masks, which we already know if it's that fine of particles, it will go through. So we will need hazmat suits or N99 if you really want it to actually work, literally. And don't get me wrong, I'm not a mask Nazi or anything. I'm telling you, this is not a fake virus. This is real poison that's in the sky. What? But we wanted this. We voted for this. We love it. I personally love the fact that I'm going to have to walk outside like as if I'm in a space. This is why I'm wearing the moon shirt today. Because supposedly we landed on the moon and planted the flag there. So I'm thinking, if the Earth turns into the moon and it's so horrible that we have to wear a spacesuit to go outside, that's when we've achieved what we really want in this world. Okay? We want to feel like aliens on our own planet. Thank you to all the people who are doing this to us. And also a special shout out to the people who are pushing for nuclear war to make it even worse in the air. And potentially cause a nuclear winter, block out the sun. Bill Gates won't even have to block out the sun if you guys do that. I bet you he's betting on that. He's like, never mind. I don't have to be the Mr. Burns of this situation and block out the sun anymore. I'll just let Israel nuke Iran, and then that'll block out the sun. And so long, humans getting your essential vitamins, like vitamin D, essential, it's we all know that sunlight's the greatest disinfectant. I can give you more details. No bother. We're happier with blocked out suns. And by the way, I love that I got zero consent. I'm glad that they didn't ask us or have us do a vote. Remember, we live in a democracy. Remember that? Yay. We still do. We still live in a democracy, I think. Even though things are happening above us that are affecting our health without our consent, people still think we live in a democracy. You see? Yeah, they're delusional. They're fucking delusional, okay? I'm making fun of that. They're out of their mind. This is not a democracy. They can rain down toxic poison on you, and the best thing they'll tell you is to stay indoors and close your windows. And by the way, use air purifiers. I have one. I didn't realize I have to have one because my government was that evil, but yay. So, let's see if Newsbreak is something that, because I think this website wouldn't let me go on it. It's like behind a paywall. Last time I looked. Maybe it's not anymore. Okay, half of a million. I'm pretty sure it was over a million. Oh, over half a million, whatever, have been avoided to let's just see what Texas and New Mexico. Isn't this just great? In Midland, Texas, Odessa in New Mexico, major communities like Hobbs and Carlsbad. It's so wonderful. And just know that whatever they're telling you, it's probably bigger and wider than that. I've been noticing, I'm in Utah, I've been noticing people are getting sicker, like so much sicker lately. And not just that, like long sicknesses, horrible coughs, all these things. A lot more people, not the average year. But I'm sure it has nothing to do with the EPA warning that toxic air is spreading across the United States. No, why would it mean that? Just wanted to throw that story out there. It's not a happy-go-lucky story, but it's where we're at. Now, Pete, the piece of shit Hegseth, the Secretary of Defense, the person who just needs to just go away, literally, not defense, sorry, the Secretary of War, and that is an accurate role. Okay, so he said the coming days, the conflict with Iran will be decisive, and the reason why is because they're going to decide whether Iran's ever going to be willing to negotiate. Iran says they're never going to be willing to negotiate, and yet they're saying they're negotiating with Iran. Who do you believe? I don't know, but I know that everyone's a fucking liar. So just don't trust what they say. Just know that the truth is probably somewhere in the middle, maybe. It could be completely the opposite of what they say, though, too. There's always been those scenarios. So it's going to be decisive. And he noted that the U.S. has 15 different ways to put troops on Iranian soils. And I'm sure one of them includes drafting people who do not want to be in this fucking war. And by the way, the most unpopular war. They literally gave North Korean Fox News polls or CNN polls 100% of MAGA supports this. It's like, dude, most people I know who voted for Trump fucking hate him now because of this. Okay? And this is people I know in real life. So I can only imagine the actual ripple effect of people I don't know that voted for him. I know that they're pissed. A lot of people are pissed. There's brainwashed zombies. There always will be. Just like the people who were saying Biden wasn't cognitively challenged. They lie to themselves. That's the people right now that support Trump. They're lying to themselves. They're saying, oh, no, he's funny, though. He's funny. He talks shit. So therefore, I support him killing 150 students in a school. It was an accident. It was an accident. And by the way, let's never bring that up again. Air campaign reaches limits. They've already reached their limits. Of course they have. And Iran has nothing but missiles to shoot at them. When they're like, we destroyed their air force and all that. It's like, dude, all they've been getting is missiles. And even you guys have been saying that. They want a nuclear warhead attached to their missiles. That's all they've been doing. So defeating their navy and their army isn't even shit. It's if you can defeat their missile capability, which you can't, and Israel's getting rained bombs nightly, daily, hourly, minutely, I don't know. But they're getting it heavy. And anyone who says otherwise is just fucking lying. Look at this. And then they want to seize an island where literally Iran has the whole coast of the Gulf Sea. Like they cover the entire Gulf. And they just think if we capture one island, we got it. It's like, dude, they can fire at that island from anywhere in Iran, number one. And they can fire at the strait from anywhere on the coastline of Iran if you capture that island. Stupidest strategic move ever. How about we just get out of this fucking war? How's that? How about we've taken L's in wars before. Don't act like we haven't. Vietnam, we killed more of them and still did not bring them democracy. And they we didn't bring it to them. We killed way more of them, though. And that's how people... And I used to rationalize it like that, too. We never really lost. We killed way more of them. No. Our goal did not get accomplished. The false flag that was set up to get it accomplished, all of it led to just people dying needlessly. And that's what will happen here. And that's why I will never go into this war. Not willingly. And by the way, no one ever should. Unless you really are a Zionist. And if you're a Zionist, please enlist. Fight for what you believe in. Stop trying to push this onto people who hate war because it's evil. And I don't want to go and fight someone who's not an enemy of me. I am not an enemy of the Iranian people, nor are they an enemy of me. Okay? Actually, I guess I can't say who if they consider me an enemy, but I don't consider them an enemy. I don't. They don't affect my life. I consider these bastard politicians making every single thing cost more expensive at the fucking store. Every time I buy food, it's more and more. Every time I buy a video game, it costs more. Every time I buy anything, it's more. I am more at war with them. If I could fucking get a ground troop and go at war to them, I would. I would. No threats. Don't kill me, FBI. I just am saying, if I could, it would be great. It'd be great. But real insurrection happened against the pieces of shit making these stupid strategic decisions to fight an unwinnable war and continuously slow our empire until a point where it will be flattened and the dollar will be worthless. But, what do you think? What do you think? I'm a tinfoil hat wearer. Am I? I suppose I am. I'm wearing the tinfoil hat because I am just against the war. I'm against the war over stupid Zionist policies. And real Christians, by the way, are not Zionists. And the ones who are, Christian and Zionist, you will find your way soon, okay? You will. I believe in you. I'm praying for you every day because all you have to do is look into the Russian Revolution to understand why Zionism is evil and how it's already been used in the most bloodiest revolutions ever. Anyway, I guess that rant is over. But look, they're overwhelming U.S. and allied defenses are Iranian drones. What were we saying? They have $70 drones that can take out our sophisticated $1 million shit. And more than, in a lot of cases, they're worth tens of millions of dollars. And they're just sending drones that are like $75,000 and just constantly hammering us over and over. This is the stupidest thing ever. Not only are we losing the war financially, we're losing it militarily. Wake up! And that's the thing. It's like dangerous to even talk truth about this now. That's what's horrible. It's dangerous to talk truth about this now because they don't want you to talk truth about anything. So we're told to stock up on food. It's a wonderful warning. We love the world that we live in today. It's just axis of terror. Here we go, Axis. We're hearing Axis and allies. I said we're in World War III. I promise you we're not. We are, I mean. I wasn't fucking making that up. I'm looking at it long enough. That's where we're at. Axis of terror to collapse. Zamir says, as IDF and U.S. continue. Now, I don't know who the Jerusalem Post. They're so wonderful. They're definitely not propagandists. And I know for a fact that the Jerusalem Post has no Zionist inclinations or, what's the word? Favoritism? Yeah. They won't do that. It will be a fairly written article for sure. The IDF completed a wave of strikes against weapon production sites. I'm sure no innocent people were hit because the IDF never would do that. Don't listen to their own soldiers' mouths, okay? Ignore those videos of what they say themselves, please, because that's not reality. Reality is what the news tells you. The Jerusalem Post knows more about reality than what you saw with your own eyes, you fucker. Don't believe your own eyes, okay? Believe the Jerusalem Post or else you're an anti-Semite. Stop being an anti-Semite and believing your eyes. Listen to the Jerusalem Post. These people know what it's up. They know what's up with the world. Don't believe your eyes. Just wanted to get that mission. It's very important to get that mission out there. Do not believe your eyes. They lie. They deceive. Okay? The only thing you should believe is the Jerusalem Post and the editors there. Who wrote this story? I want to make it very important and known. Whoever wrote it must be believed. Jason Hall. There you go. Jason Hall. I'm sure he didn't change his name. The Jerusalem Post, Jason Hall. That's the man we listen to, okay? If you saw something with your own eyes that contradicts Jason Hall, then you're wrong. Anyway, sorry. Let's read the story. So they didn't, like I said, they only hit strategic checkpoints. They didn't hit any civilians. Israel army is perfect, and so some 80 munitions were used in the attack. The IDF said, adding that the infrastructure at the central headquarters of the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps Air Force in Tehran had also been struck. Okay, yeah. Targets in Tehran included a facility for constructing ballistic missiles, a ballistic missile research and development site, and a site for producing, researching, and developing components for anti-tank and anti-aircraft missiles. So, they hit a factory where they build shit. And I'm sure there's a lot of factories where they build shit that they have no idea about. But maybe they know everything about everything. Do you think that? I think maybe they do. I mean, they are God's chosen people, right? God's chosen people. I can't believe Christians would think that Jewish people are God's chosen people. Now, we, as Christians, you have to love one another and everything. But no one is above one another. I mean, but Zionist Christians ignore the New Testament entirely, I think. I honestly think that. Because the justifications they use is almost completely a perversion of the Torah and / Old Testament. But sorry, I shouldn't talk about facts anymore. Now I want to show a couple of videos that I have loaded up. Some of them are so crazy. It's like looking at a black white supremacist, but in this case, it is a Jewish anti-Zionist. So, in the world that we live in, we're told that this doesn't exist, and if it does, they're evil, they hate you. So, I will eventually go to the propaganda outlet of Fox News and cover more, but for now, I'm going to load this up. My room is in such clean condition with all this shit on the floor. I have the air filter they recommended. Didn't even know I would need it, but thank you. I love the world that we're in. The air is so toxic that I need an air filter. Wonderful. Don't know what bullshit commercial's on behind me. It really just needs to... I don't even care. All right. So anyways, time to show you a series of videos that, you can judge for yourself what to think.
If not stopped, Iran could produce a nuclear weapon in a very short time. It could be a year. It could be within a few months.
They have the wherewithal, the stored up, preserved knowledge.
Okay, apologies. There was technical difficulties there. I had to pause the stream for a second. But now I figured out how to make the sound work. I want to start with the war criminal wanted in his own country and by the top court in the world, Bibi Netanyahu, explaining to us how Iran has been weeks away for a nuclear weapon for 30 years. Let's start with that.
If not stopped, Iran could produce a nuclear weapon in a very short time. It could be a year. It could be within a few months.
They have the wherewithal, the stored up, preserved knowledge to make a bomb very quickly if they wanted to do it.
Iran is so dangerous. Weeks away from having the fissile material
You're
an
weeks away,
entire
10 years
arsenal
ago.
of nuclear bombs.
They're very close. They're 6 months away from being about 90% of having the enriched uranium for an atom bomb.
90%
Iran is gearing up
2012.
to produce 25 bombs, atomic bombs a year, 250 bombs in a decade.
Ladies and gentlemen, time is running out.
Iran will be capable of producing alone, without importing anything, nuclear bombs within 3 to 5 years.
So, we have video as far back as 95. There's actually articles that go back even further. So, aren't you happy? 30 years of being told they're just weeks away. And obviously, they're the biggest threat for a nuclear war to happen right now, aren't they? With Trump threatening to bomb a nuclear facility in Iran, he obviously doesn't want nuclear weapons to be used in the Middle East. So a way to stop it from happening is to either make a nuclear explosion happen in their country by hitting their nuclear power plant, or we might just nuke them. That's how we'll prevent a nuclear weapon from happening in the Middle East, is by nuking them in the Middle East. Isn't that the right thing to do? It's just like climate change. The only way to make the Earth habitable is to kill all humans. So the only way for humans to be habitable on Earth is to stop producing that evil CO2 you exhale. I know that trees breathe it in, but fuck trees. We're all about death over here. We want the Earth habitable for humans. So to do that, we need to get rid of humans. In this case, to get rid of the nuclear threat, we got to nuke them. Isn't that what we do? Good logic. I love the logic of Benjamin Netanyahu, the war criminal wanted by the top court on planet Earth and also by courts in his own country. Now, let's go to another war criminal. His name is Donald Trump. He is Netanyahu's puppet. He is Netanyahu's bitch. And here we go. Let's hear what he has to say about how he's going to go war.
We must abandon the failed policy of nation building and regime change that Hillary Clinton pushed in Iraq, in Libya, in Egypt, and in Syria. We want to help
That's
them.
not
We'll
MAGA
be good to them. We'll
today.
work with them. We'll help them in any way we can, but they can't have a nuclear weapon. We're not looking, by the way, for regime change, because some people say we're looking for regime change. We're not looking for regime change. I've watched President Obama and many other presidents try that. Doesn't work out too well. We're not looking for that at all. Finally, to the people and leaders of Iran, we want you to have a future, and a great future, one that you deserve.
One where you get missile
One of
strikes during
prosperity at
Ramadan.
home and harmony with the nations of the world. The United States is ready to embrace peace. Again, I think Iran has tremendous economic potential, and I look forward to letting them get back to the stage where they can show that. I think Iran, I know so many people from Iran. These are great people. It has a chance to be a great country with the same leadership. We're not looking for regime change. I just want to make that clear.
Oh,
We took action last night to stop a war. We did not
wait,
take
we've been
action
at war for
to
47
start a
years,
war.
right, MAGA?
I have deep respect for the Iranian people. They are a remarkable people with an incredible heritage and unlimited potential. We do
Yeah,
not seek
they might beat
regime
us.
change. However, the Iranian regime's aggression in the region, including the use of proxy fighters to destabilize its neighbors, must end, and it must end now.
Do you want to see regime change in Iran?
No. If there was, there was. But no, I don't want it. I'd like to see everything calm down as quickly as possible. Regime change takes chaos. And ideally, we don't want to see so much chaos. I'm looking to have a really good Iran, really strong. We're not looking for regime change. You've seen how that works over the last 20 years. That hasn't been too good. And we're looking to make Iran rich again. Let them be rich. Let's let them do well. I think that
Iran's
Iran
oil
is a
again.
country of tremendous potential. We're not looking for leadership change. We're not looking for that kind of change. This country has been through that many times before. That doesn't work.
Question is, would you give Ukraine
So,
weapons? And
What do you think? What do you think? Did that annoy you?
Zionism is anti-Semitism.
Oh, yeah, let's-
They're the worst
wait,
enemy
hold
of
up.
the Jews. They're causing.
Let's listen to a rabbi talk about Zionism. This is important for the world to hear, by the way. I don't care what anybody else says. They could disagree. But this is important to hear to the world. Get bigger.
Zionism is anti-Semitism. They're the worst enemy of the Jews. They're bleeding the Palestinian people. They're murdering them and Jews. We have to recognize, just like apartheid was ended, this must end. It's not a problem of a religious conflict.
Yes.
We always live together. Jews and Muslims always live
For
together.
sure. That me and you, we don't disagree on
right.
that.
This is the
But-
Zionists, by the way. They made a movement, but not by religious
and they are
They're
secular
hypocrites.
and somehow call themselves Jewish.
And right, they
Yes.
say they don't believe in God, but God gave them the land, as you slowly say.
One last thing.
Yes.
I know.
These synagogues in the U.S. and the U.K. that are selling land in Gaza. Can Jews go into those synagogues
I was
and
posted
stop?
last week in Park Avenue Synagogue. It was in all the news. We were standing outside demonstrating against them.
But why not inside the synagogue?
We don't
Why
go-
not inside?
We won't even go into those synagogues because they're a lot of them are Zionists that have Israeli flags. We don't go into a synagogue that has an Israeli flag.
But
Respect me,
if you
sir.
don't challenge these things physically, what is going to happen?
We do challenge. We demonstrate constantly. We call out. We put out advertisements against them in the papers. We do what is our capability to do, and above that, We know that the Almighty, and we urge everybody to pray that He should bring about a speedy and peaceful dismantlement of that Zionist state. We hope it will be peaceful, but we are standing out all together with the Palestinians day and night for 77 years and more. So,
in this moment of genocide,
yes.
And you come from the U.S. You know there was a John Brown that carried arms against slavery and caused the Civil War in the United States. Even if it's not you as religious Jews that are pacifist, shouldn't we expect that there should be a Jewish John Brown right now today?
Again, I have to tell you, when you mentioned the civil rights movement against many Jews, as you know, most probably you know, were murdered.
So there were Jews that were martyred for civil rights in the U.S.
Again,
but there was no Jews yet martyred for rights in Palestine.
Again, first of all, that is not so. We have many Jews who were murdered by the Zionists, were murdered in Palestine by our demonstrations. We have a list of rabbis who are, the chief rabbi was almost assassinated. All of our rabbis have been beaten, arrested. So don't say that they were not murdered when we have lists of rabbis. The head of Neturei Karta had a hernia. He went into the hospital and a few hours they said he's dead. We do go out. Of course, it's a whole cause. It's not only the Palestinians, it's the Jews and the Palestinians that are suffering together from this evil shaitan called Zionism.
It's hard to sarcastically say, like, what he said is very true. And the guy was pushing back, and I liked his responses because it is true that Zionists have killed religious Jews who have protested things like going into war because the Holy Torah forbids war. But let's move on to more of these anti-Semitic Jews that deserve to be, I don't know, nothing should be rolled out, right? Because of the anti-Semitism. Even though they're religious Jews, that means nothing. It means nothing, okay? It's like being a black white supremacist. They're out there, okay? It doesn't matter how much it goes against logic. They're there. Believe it because fucking the Jerusalem Post and MSNBC and all them told you so. Let's continue. Next video, please.
Masses of Jewish people are against everything he stands for, and the Jewish people and the Jewish religion. The Jewish religion teaches peace, not war, and our people seek peace. We don't want to see all these wars. This is unfortunately a propaganda, intimidation, and pushing for war, which is bloody and disastrous. When we are seeing Netanyahu just continuing after this bloody or during this bloody genocide in Gaza, and here he comes with a new war. Let me be very clear. Anti-Zionism is not anti-Semitism. If Iran is upset with the state of Israel, this does not translate in anti-Semitism in any way. We have a beautiful, huge Jewish community in Iran who is safe and secure. We don't need the state of Israel to take care of Jewish people. On the contrary, the state of Israel is destroying Palestine, destroying everyone involved, including the Jewish people. We have a message to President Trump to rethink his position and his alliance with Israel and understand that not only does Netanyahu not represent the Jewish people, but Netanyahu is not here for the favor of the Jewish people, for the protection of the Jewish people. He is here for the political movement of Zionism, which is unfortunately costing a price for everyone.
Now, let's be clear. If being anti-Israel and anti-Israeli policies has a new definition in the 20th century as being anti-Semitic, then you should know, Mr. Councilman, you are representing a community of thousands of Torah through Jewish anti-Semites, because we are all united as anti-Israel and anti-Zionism. But you know that this is not the case. We are not anti-Semites. You should well know that tens of thousands of Torah through Jews living in metropolitan New York and worldwide are simply following the teachings of Grand Rabbi Joel Teitelbaum of Satmar. He was titled as the Chief Rabbi of Jerusalem. He wrote this book, known as Vayol Moshe. In this book, he wrote hundreds of pages denouncing the Zionist enterprise based on biblical and Talmudical passages. Now, Mr. Councilman, would you believe that Grand Rabbi Joel Teitelbaum should be titled as an anti-Semite because of his Torah true anti-Israel stance? Of course not. Let's not be so illiterate
and everything, but they will say he's an anti-Semite, okay? That's the way the fucking clown world we live in, okay? Get the fuck off of it. Sorry, shit's just popping up on my screen now. But you get the point. I have a couple more, though. I'll go through them. I'm not going to listen to everything. This is all Middle East politics. This should be a show covering shit going on around us. Like I said, where's the homeless people on bath salts? They're not even on bath salts anymore, bro. They're actually like just fucking, they're filling out election cards. Look at James O'Keefe. It's like they're voting. They're voting for people in the state who aren't voting. That's homeless people right now. So we don't have any entertainment stories. And that's fine. I don't really necessarily want to pick fun at everything, but this is the world. A conflict of the Middle East has dominated American politics, and I have to just now show so many examples. I don't have to, but I feel compelled to, of people who are Jewish who are anti-Zionist because they're trying to say anti-Zionism is anti-Semitism. Bullshit. And anti-Zionism is pro-Christianity and pro-authentic Orthodox Judaism. It's just a fact. And all Orthodox Christians and Catholic Christians know that. And same with all true Orthodox Jews that are not completely have their Torah perverted in a Zionist way. Now, let's continue, I suppose. Let's go to this.
And Jews, our brothers there, are getting brutalized because they're standing a position against the state of Israel. They don't recognize those states.
Israel hates authentic Jews. That's anti-Semitism. State of Israel and its atrocity
to join their army.
Judaism condemns.
But the whole idea is against the Torah. It's against our belief. Jews are forbidden to fight against other nations. And
get the point. Get the point. Oh, here's Jews burning Israeli flags. There's honks, there's people who really support it. They're enjoying themselves big time. Big time enjoying themselves.
Burning the Israeli flag while we are celebrating the holiday of Purim. Purim, we are celebrating the victory over Amalek. Amalek are those who destroy the Jewish people, the true enemy of the Jewish people, which is today the state of Israel. It was great leaders 1, 2, and 3 generations ago that said clearly that the Zionist state of Israel, the Zionist movement, is Amalek. They are not only killing so many people in the region, they are endangering each and every Jewish person around the globe. This is Amalek. This is what we are celebrating today. We burn the Israeli flag because we are waiting. We pray to Almighty God to see the end of this criminal state of Israel. We wait to see the end of this rebellion against God. The state of Israel is not only killing so many people, yesterday in Gaza, before in Palestine, today in Iran, but they are uprooting the Jewish religion from the Jewish masses. We say in our...
Rather be proud of what I am, rather than desperately try to be something I'm really not, just to fit in. And whether we want to accept it or not, that's what...
There's music going on. I have to cut the audio. Edit source. Yeah, shit. One second. I think I figured it out. Hopefully, I don't get fucked over on the. Okay, let's try this. Go. Play. Can you fucking play, please? Look at what they did. I want this. It's just trying to force a song in that will get me fucked around, I'm sure. And I don't need that. Look at this. Look at that. Look at what they're done, man. Is it not enough? It's still not enough. This is how much they hate their neighbors, their Arab neighbors. That's how much they hate them. Look at what they're doing, and look at what some of the fucking IDF soldiers said. I haven't even put that on my videos list because I'm not going to do everything about this, but it's just sickening. So anyway, you get the point. And now we're back to that piece of shit. So I guess I finished my point. One second. Okay, so as I was saying, Trump says Iran doesn't have to make a deal to end war. Warns of stark alternative. We all know it's nuclear war or a ground invasion. That's where we got to with that. So, yeah, he's a traitor to his base. He's a complete clown. And, there are authentic Jews that are against this. The idea that we're being against this war is anti-Semitic is total bullshit. The idea of even being against the state of Israel is anti-Semitic is total bullshit. The idea of being anti-Zionism is anti-Semitic is complete bullshit. I want that just to be that's the only reason I put those videos there. Just to dispel that, I'm supposed to be sarcastic. This is just I want the world to see it. I've been talking about it. They exist. I just pulled some videos. I could fucking make the whole show about it, but why would I? Anyway, that's the life. And I'm going to go to country music under entertainment because what better to make fun of? Luke Bryan. Who the? And look, Kid Rock sparks U.S. Army investigation after military helicopter stunt at Tennessee estate. Well, he's friends with Trump, so no matter what he does, it could be bad. He'll get away with it. His name is Bob to Trump, right? So let's see. Kid Rock came under fire by the U.S. Army after the musician shared a clip of what appeared to be military helicopters hovering above his Nashville residence. Are they mad that he just showed that, or did he like AI it in? The cowboy singer pumped his fist in the air as two helicopters idled outside his home in Tennessee, dubbed the Southern White House. Shit. If Kid Rock is in control of things, what the fuck is happening? And by the way, actually, I probably would prefer him than the guy we have in, but he is also a brainwashed cultist, I think. I mean, didn't he do the TPUSA halftime show? Christ. It was just as gross as the other one. They all suck. Every halftime show sucks, and the alternatives suck too. I saw them both. I felt like one of them made me feel dirty, and then the other one made me feel like I wasn't even in America. And the reason this is dirty is because Erica Kirk runs TPUSA, and we all know there's nothing suspicious about her behavior at all, We saw her husband die. It traumatized us all, and we all freaking had a response that was like in horror, and she just had a response that was so nonchalant compared. I mean, her first address was believable, but everything since then has been just what? And that's why it's like your PR guys, that Andrew Colbert, dude. If I was you, Andrew Colbert, I would just tell people to behave different. That's all I would do. I mean, even if you're guilty, I'm giving you advice. Just don't act so fucking guilty, okay? Pretend that you care about the investigation, even if you really don't. Clear to me that there's something fishy there. Allegedly, sorry. Kid Rock came under influence, or under fire, but he was under the influence. Kid Rock is the news now. Oh my God, that's what happens when you have Donald Trump in the White House. It's like, ow. And you just wanted him to not give a war. Now we got a lot more. Thank you, warmongering whores. Lindsey Graham needs to be on the front lines with fucking Mr. Eyebrow. Ben Shapiro need to go over there and fight for your hero, BB. And if you don't do it, then you can suck my DD. Motherfucker. Serious. You fight the war, Ben Shapiro. You do it. Be a fucking... If you really believe in your convictions, fight the war. Would you send your kid to do it? And he gets old enough? Absolutely I would. Oh, I absolutely would. My name is Ben Shapiro. I absolutely would. You know, it's obvious that I absolutely would do these things. It's obvious and absolutely obvious. And absolutely it's obvious that we need to invade Iran because obviously Israel's such an ally. All we do is leech and parasitically just take all your money and treasure. And we've been in the Middle East, obviously, all the wars because of us. Obviously, the Twin Towers went down. Obviously, it's all because of us. Obviously, seriously, don't you know? It's facts. Facts don't care about your feelings, although I'm terrified to debate anyone other than a 19-year-old. My name's Ben Shapiro. I have the biggest eyebrows in the world. I'm a fucking Zionist piece of shit. Sorry. The demon of Ben Shapiro entered my body there for a second, and I was thinking I would have to actually call a priest to exorcism him out of me. Thank God I didn't have to do it. It just came and went. But if it ever happens again, I must have a... I want every clergy member of every church, okay, that's Christian and non-Zionist, to be ready to give me an exorcism just in case Ben Shapiro enters my body again, because I swear to God, if it happens again, I might become a Zionist, and that's like, it can't happen. I can't do that, okay? I'm too much of an American and a loyalist to my European identity to ever betray all those things, because they hate Europeans, they hate Americans. That's why I'm like this towards them, you know? But like, it's not anti-Semitic, because I just showed you a bunch of great, honorable Jews who are putting their neck out there. And they don't need to do more than what they're doing. What they're doing is great. They're doing a good job, but they're just not being seen enough because people don't show them enough. I'll show you them, though. Don't worry. Harry Underwood shares a secret to raising grounded children on a Tennessee farm. Yeah. If only I knew who the fuck that was, I might actually look into it. I mean, I'm looking at... Nothing is actually about country music. Not one thing. Oh, this looks great. Something about too fat. Country singer Joe D. Messina blasts Nashville label for too fat rejection. Whatever the fuck that means. So, this person is sharing the harsh criticism she faced early in her career. Oh, you got called fat? Is that what happened? Good God. They said I was too fat. If I was 10 pounds lighter, they would have signed me. Oh my God, the trauma. And by the way, you're successful now, but you're still going to whine about your past? What about the people who are too fat right now, who can't do shit? You've at least made it now, and you're going to cry about the early part of your career? Why don't you help someone in the early part of their career who can't do anything? No, you just want to play a victim in your $1 million mansion. Go. F off with yourself. No one buys it. No one buys your victim mentality. You're too rich to be a victim of anything. And by the way, you can be a victim and be rich, but not you. Not you. Because you're saying it's because you got called fat. Oh my God, you got called fat. Maybe that might have actually caused pain in your life. You know, all the problems and things that I've had in my life, if nothing compared to this millionaire here getting called fat. All your problems, hey, if you're starving, if you had a leg blown off in Gaza, just know it could be worse. You could have been called fat and became a millionaire years later. It could have gotten worse for you. So, this woman here, I don't even know who she is, but I know she's worth money because they're covering her. Look at her. Oh, she was a little overweight at one point, and it was a really hard thing. And this is all to promote her upcoming album. I'm to the point now where I go and get checked with blood work and need whatever. That's good. I want you to be healthy. You know, sometimes people calling you fat actually just want you to be healthy, believe it or not. I know that sounds like a revolutionary idea on the minds of the people who say it's shaming them. Well, shouldn't you be shamed if you're doing something wrong, or especially something bad for you? I'm just like kind of looking through this. She was discouraged that her sister called her greatest support and kept her to keep going. So hell, your sister should be writing the article about how to encourage people, but instead you're writing about how you were a victim in the beginning and now you got a lot of money, and now this article is used to promote your new album so you can have more money. What a horror story you lived through, and you're still living to this day on top of your mansion overlooking us peasants. God help us. I'm glad I'm not you. It's times like this that I realize that money doesn't mean anything. Because I might get called fat, okay? And if I get called fat, then obviously that's worse than being a millionaire. That's, you know, I mean, you see what I'm saying? Like, I mean, if I'm a millionaire that's being called fat, I would rather be broke and not be called a name. This person is so, that name hurt her so much. Fat, fat, fat. Now all I want to do right now is go to her Instagram, which I don't have an Instagram. I should make one for the sole purpose of saying you're fat, or maybe just saying you suffer too much. Tiger Woods is a section of Fox News. What the hell is that about? Tiger Woods stepping away from golf to seek treatment. Fucking leave him alone. He's another one. Why do they always go after certain people? And it always seems to be the black men who don't act like the stereotype and the you know, let's just be real, the too ghetto and all that. It's always those guys get fucked with. Michael Jackson, Tiger Woods, O.J. Simpson. I mean, he was obviously an upstanding citizen. He did nothing wrong. He was acquitted. I don't know why I laughed about that. I'm being dead serious here. Tiger Woods, all of it about fucking this many stories about a DUI. If I get a DUI, they won't give a shit, okay? And no one will be there for me. But Tiger Woods gets a DUI and he gets all over the news. Too bad. That's one time when being a celebrity sucks. I mean, you could do 50 things right, but that's the only thing they're going to remember, okay? You donated to a charity. You adopted 3 orphans from all these horrible places. That doesn't matter, because if you got a DUI, you're suddenly the worst person. It's like Mel Gibson. He made one of the greatest movies ever. He inspired people to go to church more because seeing the pain and the sacrifice of Christ gave. But he had one moment where he went on a tirade and said Jewish people are a problem when he was drunk, and thus he is forever dubbed that guy. He's a drunken anti-Semite. And by the way, he was being called an anti-Semite for even making that movie. For just simply documenting the Bible. Didn't they try to make it illegal to repeat the gospel in Israel? Oh yes, they did. I can't remember what year, but it was recently. Because if you say certain things, then it's anti-Semitic. And then you look into those things and it's literally in the Bible. And I'm just like, okay, so you're trying to ban people from saying things in the Bible. This is Israel. These are the people that certain Christian Zionists want in control of their what we should call the Holy Land. That's what they want. The evangelical Christians that want them in control of the Holy Land. They love getting spit at. They want their temples to be closed. And they want someone who totally hates the figurehead of their whole religion. That's what they do. There's no opinions. They don't have any opinions right now. So I will go and I will do what I do a lot. And I will roast. I will end by roasting I'll end it with should it be Andrew? I'll just go to royal families. Let's narrow it down. Hopefully I can get Meghan Markle. That'd be great. Oh, good God. King Charles to visit U.S. in landmark trip marking America's 250th anniversary. The last person who should be here to mark the anniversary of America is the fucking King of England. The whole reason America exists is to get away from you. And he's going to be here? No. You're not invited. I don't care what Trump said. You're not invited. I'm not going to do anything, but you're not invited. Fuck you. You're not invited. But Buckingham Palace, that the king and queen has accepted an invitation by Trump, because Trump wants the guy, literally the king of England, the reason we had a whole fucking revolution in 1776, to come over to mark the occasion. And look at this man. He looks so great. He looks like he has the perfect bloodline DNA. You know, they always talk shit about Irish people, and that is what they look like because of centuries of inbreeding, as I've said before. And he realized Diane was just not related to him, and he had to get her... Oh, sorry. He had to listen to that Exhibit Paparazzi song, and then paparazzi killed her. And then he married more within. I don't know who this lady is, but I guarantee they're fucking related very closely. We just don't know. They've covered it up, okay? Probably are. It will be his first state visit to the U.S. as king. And he's going to fucking plant the British... Oh my god, plant the British flag here. It's better than the Israeli flag, actually. So, even though I was being sarcastic for a second, yeah, come on, Charles. Just break that level of influence. So, that was when he was the prince in 2019. They were talking. I bet you they were talking about nothing to do with the island out in, little St. James. It had nothing to do with that. They were talking about... You know what they were talking about? They were talking about Harry Potter and how J.K. Rowling actually made a very, very horrible decision to go against the trans community. And, she's supposed to be a feminist. She should know better. You gotta defend the women, the men who want to think that they're women too, J.K. Are you just kidding? Is that why your name is J.K.? It must be, because if you're not just kidding, I am fucking offended for the trans people. Just like a white liberal woman. I'm offended for them. I might not be one of them, but I'm offended for them. Just like white liberal women when it comes to black people. They are the greatest defenders of black people. If you were to say the N-word in front of a black person and a liberal woman, before the black person could deck you in the face, the black dude, the liberal woman would be like, ah! And then she would like fucking jump at you and scream in your face. And maybe take the punch for you because of how outraged she would be on behalf of another person who isn't her. Because liberal women are absolutely, they know what they're in tune. They have it all together upstairs. They don't get prescribed medication. They don't have any mental problems. They're all there in the head. That's why they have to dye their head different colors all the time, just to remind you. We're normal, okay? So, it's just great. The king's coming on the 250th birthday of us saying fuck the king. I love it. It makes so much sense. Yeah, I don't. Prince Philip snuck a beer on his final night while hiding an 8-year cancer secret. You don't need, it's not a secret. I don't even, historian claims, what? So he died already at the age of 99. He lived a long life. And he snuck a beer. What a horrible crime. I think they need to... I know he's already died. But you need to punish people beyond that. Do you remember Cromwell, England? What did you do to Cromwell? You exhumed him from the grave and then hung him as he was dead. This might need to happen to this guy to show you cannot sneak beers while you have cancer. You can't do that. So... do what you did to Cromwell, exhume the body, then hang it, and then put the top of the head on the side of your fucking palace like you did before. That's an example. Don't drink beer. And also, we need to get rid of nicotine pouches. They're obviously evil. We need to ban it worldwide. I think there's something about them. They might cure some sort of ailment that they're putting in the sky, so we gotta get rid of it forever. We don't care. We liked it when it was killing you, but now that it might be saving you, we are gonna ban it. LA has banned it. Other European countries are following suit. Expect it to come here soon, and have a wonderful good night.